Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Neha talking about the birth and growth of drama. In my previous video lecture, I have talked about the birth and growth of drama that came up from the ecclesiastical hands to the secular hands through the mystery plays, miracle plays, morality plays, and interludes. We have also talked about in my previous video lecture about the artistic period of drama, the first comedy and first tragedy. Do comment in the comment section below what's the first tragedy and first comedy and who has written them. So in this video lecture we are talking about the part 2 entitled as University Wits. University wits come in the line or it do come in the line when we trace the birth and growth of drama, and these 7 people are very important. They are grouped as university wits and they are grouped, and the term has been coined by George Sainsbury, a 19th century scholar and journalist who grouped them together and entitled them as university wits. So the first 3 scholars, as you can see on my screen behind, Thomas Lodge, George Peele, John Lilly. These 3 people went to, the first point here is why they are known as university wits. Who grouped them? George Sainsbury. Why they are known as university wits? Because they went either to University of Oxford or University of Cambridge. And क्योंकि first 3 went to the Oxford University, and number 4, 5, and 6 went to University of Cambridge. Together they are known as Oxbridge scholars, Oxbridge wits. They are very witty, formal, very learned. They went to the universities of repute and formalized the English drama. They came before William Shakespeare, gave roots to the English theatre, wrote revenge plays in blank verse and prose language. These are very important university wits. I tell you, a question might pop up here and there, the exams you are preparing for related to English literature. Very important people, I must tell you. So without much ado, let's get into the video. Our first scholar is, I tell you, I repeat this thing in a very slow motion way. Thomas Lodge, George Peele, and John Lilly went to University of Oxford. University of Oxford. Whereas Thomas Nash, Robert Greene, Christopher Marlowe went to the University of Cambridge. They went to the University of Cambridge. Thomas Kidd did not go to any of these universities but has been grouped alongside them because of his style that came close to these university scholars. He did not attend any universities, but his style of writing was much alike them. That is why he is taken as a kid of the university wits, Thomas Kidd. And LPL, Lodge, Peele, and Lilly are Oxford scholars, whereas Nash, Greene, and Marlowe, they are Cambridge scholars. Oxbridge, George Sainsbury. So far we have discussed this thing, but let's get into take them up in one by one way. So next we have, first of all, we will be discussing about John Lilly. This person is very important, and the term that he coined comes in the section of literary terms that comes up in NTUGC Net, a section. So John Lilly wrote many works, but the famous works that he is known for are Endymion and Euphues, or the Anatomy of Wit. Euphues, or the Anatomy of Wit. Euphues gives name to the euphuism, the style of writing prose, followed by rhetorical questions, use of alliteration. He formalized a kind of style that was followed by writers that followed him. Many writers wrote like John Lilly, and the style that he inaugurated and pioneered is the euphuism. That comes out from Euphues, or the Anatomy of Wit. The sequel of it is Euphues and his England. So John Lilly is much remembered for the prose style that he inaugurated. After that, we have George Peele. George Peele wrote a number of plays. Among them are The Arrangement of Paris, The Old Wives' Tales, very important, I must tell you. A Farewell to Arms. Farewell to Arms, टाइटल सुना हुआ लगता है. Farewell to Arms is can be understood in association with Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. क्वेश्चन जरूर बनता है. जॉर्ज पील A Farewell to Arms, अर्नेस्ट हेमिंगवेज A Farewell to Arms. कनेक्शन पर क्वेश्चन बनता है. टाइटल लिया गया है, अर्नेस्ट हेमिंगवे ने बोरो किया है. देन वी हैव द किड ऑफ द फैमिली, थॉमस Kyd. Thomas Kyd's famous play is a revenge tragedy written by him, the Spanish tragedy, or Hieronymo is Mad Again. The play literally box office पर famous गया, theaters पर famous गया, because the title of it, the Spanish tragedy, this English people were not in close proximity with the Spaniards, because you must have read about the Spanish Armada. So Spaniards were not those people who were favored by English people. So when the Spanish tragedy happened on the English stage, English people were very happy and clapping and laughing thoroughly, because the Spaniards and Portuguese, the two rivals of English people, they were dying on the stage. So the Spanish tragedy, another important play, breaks the English रिवेंज ट्रेजेडी. इन्होंने, थॉमस किड ने अपने प्ले द स्पेनिश ट्रेजेडी से रिवेंज प्ले को इंट्रोड्यूस किया है. लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ ब्लडशेड. So Thomas Kyd is very important when it comes to the understanding of revenge tragedy. Next, and he follows the Senecan tragedy. We have discussed about Seneca in my previous video lecture. So next we have Thomas Lodge. Thomas Lodge is understood in association with Shakespeare, because Thomas Lodge's play Rosalind gave way to William Shakespeare's As You Like It. He has also written many other plays, for example, A Fig for Momus, the first classical satire of English theatre. Then we have Robert Greene. Robert Greene is known for the jealousy that he inhabited for the grand writer William Shakespeare. According to him, Shakespeare took advantage of the writings of university wits. He had no image of his own, but he wrote in the context, stole the context of writing from university wits. And that is why he, out of jealousy, Robert Greene, a very important PYQ, in his work, A Groat Words of Wit, he has written, he has poured out his jealousy for William Shakespeare, calling him an upstart crow beautified by our feathers. He has also written Pendosto. And next in line, we have Christopher Marlowe. But before I come to Christopher Marlowe, I would like to discuss another important writer, Thomas Nash. Thomas Nash introduced the picaresque style. In this video lecture, I have talked about two literary terms. First is the euphemism propounded by John Lyly, and now the picaresque style. Picaresque style is basically a style where the adventures of an anti-hero are taken into account, and the hero faces a lots of adventures and travels through the forest. So Thomas Nash's work, The Unfortunate Traveler, or The Life of Jack Wilton, it's basically taken to be an introductory English novel where we can see the picaresque style of writing. And now let us talk about the hero of the story, Christopher Marlowe. Very important writer, a spy, an atheist, and makes Machiavellian heroes. His works are very important. There are a number of works that he has written. All of them are very important. Christopher Marlowe has an identity of his own, owing to the works that he has written. So the first work that he has written is Tamburlaine the Great, and second is Tamburlaine Part 2. Both of them take title from the very hero of the story, Tamburlaine. A Scythian shepherd becomes a king. How he becomes the king is the story, and it's a tragedy. Part 1 and part 2 both are important, but don't forget to go through the part 1 of Tamburlaine. Next, we have another important play written by Christopher Marlowe, Jew of Malta. Jew and Christians basically had consistent discord in between them. So the Jew in the story is barbarous, that resembles Shylock of Shakespeare. Do let me know in the comments section below, who is Shylock and where can we find him in Shakespearean play, in which play we can find him. Jew of Malta deals with Barbarous. Malta is a name of a place. He is a Jewish greedy fellow who did not even spare his own girl child Abigail. And the tragedy that he meets makes up this a tragedy play. Next, we have Dr. Faustus. I'm telling you this, and I'll tell you by the end of this video also, beta. Dr. Faustus is very important. It's the play of the greed. Kiski greed? Knowledge ki greed. Dr. Faustus is tired of the scientific knowledge, and now he wants to gain much more knowledge, and he gets into black magic. Name of the servant has been asked, PYQ. People who help in getting him in this life of black magic or necromancy. The name of the people, another PYQ. In this one story, we have good angel, we have bad angel, we have the shadow of the Christ, and also we have the 7 deadly sins. We have Helen of Troy. This one play is packed with number of allusions and examples that makes it a perfect Renaissance tragedy. So Dr. Faustus, Christopher Marlowe as a writer is very important because he made common people hero, their problem, their greeds, and how they are overtaken by that greed. And Christopher Marlowe has also written poems like Hero and Leander. With this, I come to the end of University Wits. But this lecture is not sufficient. If you want to know more about these people, their works in detail, do let me know in the comment section below, or you can join my online course dealing with the NTA UGC net preparation, where you can get all the details of these writings in a very methodological way. Till the time we meet next, I see you people. Wish you all the luck. Have a nice day.